everybody, welcome back to the Move Better channel. I'm your host, Dr. Joe, and this is the Professor John Penisarada. Today we're going to be talking about some wrist pain and putting load on the wrist that may be causing you guys some pain and how to fix some of those issues. Now, some of the injuries that I see a lot of is our fitness athletes come to me and say they can't put pressure into their hand when doing a push-up. Now, wrist pain can most likely be the symptom of the injury, but the cause comes from elsewhere. Sometimes it might just be coming from the shoulder. So one of the tests that we do that I have my fitness athletes test is how much pressure can they put. And go ahead and get into push-up position for me, John. And if this is you that can't put pressure and drive your body over your wrist in this position, a lot of you might have pain at the top of your wrist and you can't put that pressure on. A lot of the times that could be coming from the shoulder and dysfunction from the shoulder itself, because you might be putting too much load or an unbalanced load on the wrist causing you pain. That's for another video, so check out our shoulder mobility exercises to make sure that you guys assess and figure out what could be the issue first and be able to take action accordingly based off of the mobility and function of the shoulder that you need. Now, in order to fix the wrist now, we want to be able to add load to that wrist. So one of the things that I check to see is how much control that you have over that wrist. In forward flexion, you're going to try to lift your wrists all the way up. Go ahead and straighten your arms the way we show people. So we want to lift our hands up as much as possible. We want to see if we have control over that. We want to try to bring our hands down. We want to see if there's pain in any of these motions. Now, if I start to bring my hands down and I start to feel a little bit of pressure right here, one of the things that I want to fix is the opposite side. I want to try to work on my extensor muscles of my forearms to try to relieve some of that pressure in there. Most of the time, our pain that comes from the top part of that wrist here is an extensor strength issue. And when I bring my hand down, it might mean that the flexor muscles of my wrist might be a little bit too tight or overactive. And so what we want to do is we want to release tension of the bottom area, and we want to create some strength patterns for that wrist above. So the wrist goes for rotational patterns, it goes into a radial deviation, and it goes into an ulnar deviation. So we have all these different ranges of motion that the wrist can do, not just a forward flexion or extension in our wrist. So in order for us to put load on our wrist, we want to make sure that we can flex and extend first off. So in order to relieve tension off of the front part of those muscles or the bottom side of his forearms, he's just going to grab a ball, he's going to push into that, and you're going to try to relax this hand as much as possible, just so we could just put pressure in. To start, we're trying to activate these muscles. We're trying to increase stimulation to those areas. So he's just applying excessive pressure on there as if he's just trying to foam roll that area. He holds it there for about 30 seconds to a minute or so. It feels pretty good. Now, as he's pinning it, we want to go into some flexion and extension in this. So let's have you do this. Let me have you bring your hand across. So notice where his hand is. It's off. His wrist is going to be off of the box here. And so relax your hand. So he's going to relax the pressure on the ball. He's going to flex his hand, so he's going to pin it in a contracted position. He's going to hold it there, and now he's just going to try to relax his hand as he goes into a wrist extension. And then go ahead and relax. You're going to do that again. Press and extend. One more time, press and extend. So here for that pin and stretch, he's just going to do 3 sets. Pin, stretch, pin, stretch, pin, stretch. We're going to go into the radial side, which is the thumb side. He's going to press down and he's going to open it up. So he's going to flex, press, and open it back up. Press and open it up towards the ulnar side. Then he's going to go around, again, same thing. He's going to contract the muscle by bringing it up, and then flexing the wrist as he drops his hand down and stretches out those muscles. 3 times. Press, down, let it relax. One more time. Press, down, let it relax right over here. Now, we just recreated some stretching into that area. We want to do some strength exercises for his forearm now. Now, for the wrist extensor muscles, one of the things that we want to do is we want to strengthen or just create an isometric contraction. Creating an isometric contraction to the muscles that help the wrist extend or bring up, will help allow to decrease some of the pain that's at the wrist joint itself, because these muscles start from around here and they cross the wrist joint and into the fingers. So one of the things that I'm going to have him do is I'm going to utilize this rubber band. I'm going to place it right around his fist. Now the important thing is not to open his hand up all the way, because that rubber band is just going to roll down towards his knuckles. We want to keep it towards the lengthened side. So you're just going to open it up. There you go. So now you're going to start to feel those wrist muscles in this area. So we've contracted it. Now without moving your fingers, I'm just going to have you lift your wrist up. That's it. Good. So you're tightening up all those muscles there. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. And we're just going to, again, isometrically contract. So on the side view, right over here, he's just isometrically contracting those wrist extensors. And that's going to help strengthen these muscles in this area, as well as release tension off of the muscles that help flex the wrist. Go ahead and relax. So after we've done this and we've held this position for about 30 seconds or so, you're going to take a break, you're going to relax. Now we want to work on some rotation. So as his wrist is up here, hold your wrist up, extend, extend. Now we're going to take it and we're just going to rotate our wrist as if we're opening up a doorknob, and we're creating that tension along the backside of his wrist again, and then you're going to bring it back. You're feeling all that tension right through here, right? Let's give him a side view here. Turn, lift up, and rotate it like you're rotating a doorknob. And he's going to start to feel those rotational muscles of the wrist start to activate and start to burn a little bit. Now you're going to be doing about 30 seconds to about a minute of these exercises as well, or you can aim for about 10 to 15 repetitions to try to burn those muscles out. Now remember, isometric contractions can help decrease pain just by increasing movement. Movement decreases pain. And that's what the best thing to do right now for this wrist pain is, just to create that isometric contraction. Now after we do those exercises, we're going to come back up and we're just going to retest to see if that pain starts to go away. So he's going to get it back into that push-up position and see if we can drive his shoulders over his wrist and see if we get a little bit further this time. Go ahead and relax. Now better is good. That's what we want. We want to see better. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely gone away, because like I said, wrist pain is not just in the area that you're dealing with. Although you feel the symptoms here, it travels up the chain. So we've got to work on elbow, we've got to work on shoulder. A lot of the time, the culprit is the shoulder, and we have to mobilize the shoulder in order to be able to put that pressure along the wrist. So I hope you like those exercises. Remember, wrist pain can be a problematic area for a lot of fitness athletes, and this could be a way that can remedy the problem and perhaps fix all of the issues that you may be dealing with wrist pain. Now, if you're still dealing with some of the pains and you haven't quite fixed, or these exercises haven't quite fixed some of the issues that you might be dealing with, make sure you guys check with a movement professional that may be able to fix and figure out what is exactly wrong. Pain is very subjective and it could be different for every single person. So we want to make sure that we help you guys out as much as possible. So in order for us to do that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below, and let us know how we can help you guys out. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Move Better channel. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.